Man, hello, ladies and gentlemen. What's up this fine Monday evening? My name is Reed Rapid Melton. Joining me once again is Joshua Fekez Quest. Of course, all of you wonderful people out there. Big fans of you all. Thanks for coming out and tuning in to another week of the Collegiate Star League's League of Legends playoffs. We're about to hop into Champion Select for game number 1 between Appalachian State University and Ottawa. Not just Ottawa, University of Ottawa, as opposed to Ottawa University. We don't talk about those guys. No, I'm just kidding. University of Ottawa, they're coming here to play, and we're going to get things swapped over. I think I might have things on the wrong side. But let's go ahead and get into Champion Select. They started the game a little bit ahead of schedule, so we'll check out our sick video afterwards. But here we go. Champion picks and bans, and yeah, I got to swap-arena those over. Here we go. Ottawa versus Appalachian State. How you doing, Josh?
Pretty freaking good. Ottawa's actually doing great right now because they're coming into this match, the round of 32, 14-0. They have not dropped a game this entire CSL season, as opposed to Appalachian State. They're 9-5. They're not looking so hot. They're having a little bit of struggles, but with all those struggles, they still made it here to the round of 32. So we'll see if they can topple over Ottawa like they have been doing. They've 2-0'd the playoffs so far against both Central Connecticut State and Grand Valley State. So, I mean, they have what it takes to at least get it this far. They just need to get a little bit further. We'll see if they can do that against the undefeated Ottawa. Malphite, Poppy, and Annie, though, being banned out by Ottawa. Elise, Jin, and a reboot going to the
yeah, I was gonna say at least Jin and a new game. So
new game, yes.
Unlucky there. Apparently we did have some client arena issues, so while we get everybody back into game, yeah, like you mentioned, the ban phase will include this champion called Soraka Myers, widely known as a pretty good Soraka player. Very many of those out there. And talked to him earlier about some of these Soraka changes, and he says it definitely takes a different play style now, because now it's less about burst healing as Soraka and more about like rewarding you for landing your skills, like Star Call. So you land a Star Call, and it gives you this regeneration aura that gives you health back over time, as well as a little bit of health up front. So it does reward you for hitting that. It now slows no matter if you hit on the center or on the edges, so it's a little bit of a better spell, but you do have to land it in order to get that regeneration aura so that the heal is about as strong as it used to be. However, I don't know why I'm talking about Soraka, because it's going to be banned every game this series, so I don't think that's a big mystery, but if he does by some miracle pick that champion, then I think we'll get a chance to see quite
it's not technically banned now. I don't know.
Well,
so I guess
okay, these are. I'm guessing that they're just doing placeholder. No, those are not placeholder bans. Okay.
Most of these are the exact same. I think Annie,
Yeah.
or it was either Annie or Zero was a different one from the last ban. So it might have been a mistake. They might not have meant to do that. They claimed like a client crash, but it doesn't matter because Bard is actually locked in for Myers, so even with Soraka open, it's still not going to happen anyways.
Man, I get all hyped up for this.
It made great filler.
Trolling me. Either way, yeah, the Soraka pick might be coming out later on. But let's talk about the picks that we see on the screen. And already, it's a gigantic tank lineup for Appalachian State, or App State. It's a state made up of apps. You can download their state on your phone. Maybe it'll make you better at playing League of Legends. I'm searching for it right now, man. I gotta get that elo.
I don't know about all that one. We'll see. If they win tonight, that could probably hold some validity. But again, Ottawa, they're a big giant right now.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, Appalachian State, they're speaking of coming up big there. They do have, like you said, they have that big front line right now. Nautilus and Rammus being insta-locked by them on the other side. Anxiety locking in the Gragas Rams, going with an Irelia top. So gonna be a little bit more of aggressive top lane. We'll see what works out for them. Yeah, so far not much really given away with these picks.
Yeah, still some big mysteries. You should see those locked in here pretty soon with the carries being picked. But yeah, like you mentioned, Ottawa, big giants coming into tonight's games. They are 14-0 undefeated. They did have a bye in the round of 96, which is technically the first round of playoffs, but it wasn't all the way filled up, so that's why they got that bye. And yeah, 7-0 both seasons, incredibly strong. Whereas on the other side, Appalachian State, they looked a little bit shaky during the regular season, but during playoffs they've 2-0'd Central Connecticut and Grand Valley State, so looking strong coming into the playoffs, maybe stronger than they have over the course of the season.
Yeah, so we have more locks coming in. Appalachian State locking in the Thresh and the Tristana. It's going for a little bit more of a pushing comp in that bot lane. We'll see how that works out for him. Zed being locked in over on Ottawa. Very excited to see that, along with the ever mobile Ezreal too. So a lot of assassination coming out from the side of Ottawa. If you throw in Aurelia, once she gets going, she can definitely dive into the back lines. And I wouldn't really say assassinate, but she can kind of kill whoever she wants. But she has to be going for a squishy target. I say she can kill whoever she wants. Given some time, she probably can because of her heightened style. True damage does help a lot, but you don't want to be diving into a Nautilus, a Thresh, or a Rammus. There's a lot of protection for the Tristana over on App State.
Yeah, and this is a pretty big sort of just protect the Tristana kind of composition. You always need disengage and peel whenever you go for comps like that, and they've got a lot of it. Now the question mark for me is going to be on the top lane, because that could be Nautilus flexed into like a mid lane role. Nautilus into Zed is a big counter pick. We've actually seen that used in several leagues. Korea, China, both have brought it out before. And with the Cho'Gath lock-in, Cho'Gath another big Zed counter, because turns out when you can't use abilities for 2.5 seconds, you tend to get a little bit of a sad face there on Zed. So
yeah.
some big opportunities for lane swaps, counter picks, all kinds of crazy stuff. But that is a huge lineup. Like that's one of the biggest, tankiest lineups I've seen for Appalachian State. And that just
that might be one of the biggest lineups I've seen at all CSL long. Even with just putting Cho'Gath in there, just in the mix, that's a massive, massive comp.
Yeah, Tristana is gonna like position herself like 1,000 miles away from the team, and Zed's just gonna be like, so who do I ult here, guys?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Been a while since I've seen a Cho'Gath. In general, Cho'Gath's weakness of having to land some pretty high impact skill shots. Either you land the rupture and you slow and knock up everyone, or you don't, and then you know you're kind of just walking around. But turns out burst true damage that scales with the 1-to-1 AP ratio. It's pretty good. So we'll see how well that works out here as we get into our spectator delay. But yeah, some pretty exciting team compositions. On the one side, you've got like actual aggressive outplay opportunity from pretty much everyone on Ottawa or University of Ottawa. And on the other side, of course, you just got just raw, I have more defensive stats, and you guys know what to do with.
Yeah, that's a massive amount of health on the side of App State. So even if University of Ottawa decides to, or is able to, I guess, outplay, maneuver around App State's team, I don't even think they care. As long as Krusty Mosquito stays alive, I think they're all right. I think that's their goal, is just to keep Krusty Mosquito alive. See.
Man, that's been my. If I had a dime for every time I've had to keep Krusty Mosquito, I'm just.
Of course.
Kidding. I'm just going to have tons of fun saying that name this series.
Yeah.
But before we get into the series, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And that means that we give a quick shout out to our sponsors for helping make the actual game portion of this possible, because we couldn't have series like this, seasons like this, without our sponsors. You can see them up there on your screen. Twitch.tv is where you are where you guys are watching this right now. We do want to thank them for sponsoring with us, helping promote the CSL, and letting you guys watch it here on such a great platform. And of course, probably the biggest, but certainly another great thanks to Asus ROG, that's Republic of Gamers, and they do help fuel some of the world's greatest gamers with the best PCs, laptops, and monitors out there, and more importantly, they're giving us an opportunity to have the CSL Finals this year at DreamHack in Austin. I just got back from Austin. It's a great place. Super looking forward to being there again for DreamHack, and of course holding the CSL Finals there. Let them know that they're awesome for allowing that to be possible by hitting them up on Twitter at Asus_ROG, and thank them for sponsoring the CSL.
And while Twitch sponsors the stream, I guess boosts the stream, Asus, helps fund the CSL at DreamHack. Brain Gear helps boost the players. Go check it out. It's a 2-ounce formula. I got that. No problem. I got that, Reed. It's a scientifically developed 2-ounce formula. All natural, vitamin B12, B6, green tea extract. Go check them out on Twitter with the hashtag ThinkBig.
All right, yeah, definitely check them out. Of course, big thanks to probably the biggest sponsor of all, and that's you guys out there. Thanks for coming out tonight. Oh, and you, but mostly the viewers. Thanks for coming out tonight for Ottawa versus Appalachian State's best of 3 and our second round of 32 of the playoffs. Hope you guys are in for some great League of Legends this evening. Stick around, stable your ad block, and we will be back in just under a minute with our first game of the night. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. When there's no coming back, he's a fighter. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Getting things started up with a quick little overlay swap, but here we go. Into game number 1 of our best of 3 playoff series. The University of Ottawa starting off on the left-hand side of your screen. Appalachian State, of course, on the right in the red. What's up, everyone? I hope you guys are having a great evening. I am ready for some League of Legends. And hopefully my co-caster is as well. Let's try to get him grabberinoed in here. There we go. Welcome back, Fekez. We're into the early lane phase. About 2 minutes into the game, and we did decide to go with the Cho'Gath mid, not swap that up top lane. So there was some flexibility there, and already some stuns being landed bottom. Myers locking things down with that Cosmic Binding.
Yeah, looks like they're trying to trade back, but it's about even so far. Of course, Myers knows exactly what he's doing on the Bard. Nice Q onto Krusty Mosquito, locking him against that wall. So I have to be careful of Myers, I guess of the Myers Bards, but yeah, he's going to be the one poking out most of Mr. Saviour's and Krusty Mosquito's health bar in that bot lane. He's being extremely aggressive on the front lines, and every time anyone on the side of Appalachian on the bot side steps out of place, there's
and Myers
so much.
Is getting that free money up in the front lines. He's taking a lot of damage for it, but
he's got biscuits.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's actually worth it. I mean, Bard's a very high sustain champion, so he just keeps laying down all of those little shrines. Get free health from the shrines, get free mana from the chimes. Makes sense.
It does.
It's like the Bard welfare program. You just get everything for free all the time.
Know who he's
make Bard mains great again. We've got everything you need down there.
Oh my god.
Full sustain.
Hold on. Speaking of having everything you need in the mid lane, Cerelius getting hit up. Is he going to go down, though? He is not. First Blood still goes over to Nenazors with some assistance from Rams. Nice gank on the backside.
Yeah, and you can tell that there's a kind of question. Wow, the flash, the ignite, the chain against the turret. Play in there, and Myers should be okay. Summoner heal used instead of that flash summoner. Oh, he actually flashed in there too to get the kill. And then needed the summoner heal to get out alive, just barely surviving. Man, you can really see the synergy there. Myers and Anxiety putting in work in the bottom lane, already 2 up for Ottawa.
Yeah, Anxiety kept held on to his flash, so he is a summoner up in that bot lane.
Oh, but going into the jungle, trying to catch out Rams.
Rams needs to be careful, but Nenazors is there. Flash.
Whoa, the turnaround!
The kill, a huge amount of damage onto Voltfire. He's not tanky yet. He wants to be, but he is not. And now we're going to go for Cerelius once again. Barrel roll, gonna get it. Double kill for Rams. Very nice start for University of Ottawa.
Yeah, that'd be okay. There's nice starts, Fekez, and then there's 4-0 up at almost just 4 minutes. So that's pretty good. If I could have nice starts like that when I played ranked, I'd probably be about as good as these guys. But yeah, unfortunately, you know, things like feeders and oh, by the way, I'm just not as good. But here we go.
Don't just blame this on people.
Man, I always people are just like, man, if my team were better. I'm just like, you know, you wanna take that, you know, what's that thing about, you know, 1 finger pointing out, 3 pointing back at you, something like that.
I'm actually not sure on that analogy.
Yeah, it depends on how many fingers you have, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah. Don't anyone watching the stream, do not worry. We will get the champion portraits lined up in just a moment. But as we talk about that one, Zed is actually making his way to the top lane. Nenazor does not have flash, but he does have that living shadow. Got a flash out of 4 brothers. So that is a little bit more of a gankable Nautilus in the top lane.
I mean, that's almost like blowing 4 flashes, right? Because you're 1 for each of the brothers, right?
Guess so.
Reminds me of the Ridiculous 6 movie I had the misfortune of watching.
I don't know why you would even try.
I didn't know. I didn't know ahead of time, Fekez.
You had to.
I got locked into it, forced to finish it. The worst. I wish I could have been casting League of Legends during that. It would have been at least twice as more worthwhile. Probably infinitely so.
All, by the way. If anybody doesn't watch it, Tyler Lautner's in there. If anybody doesn't know who Tyler Lautner is, then you probably have more.
Yeah. You know when you walk into the McDonald's and there's that caution sign up because they wash the floors. Should have put one of those up for watching that movie. But here we go, more action bottom lane.
We have a death sentence on to Myers. I don't think it's gonna be his death sentence though. Rams in the bot lane. He's not. Oh, he actually is level 6. Trying to line up for an explosive cask. Not going to land it though. Not going to even try for it. Nice disengage from Mr. Savior and Crusty Mosquito. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Nenazor is just having his way with this low-level Cho'Gath who has only 2 Doran's rings to his name right now. That is not enough to protect you in lane against a Zed.
Yeah, unfortunately, you need things like armor or possibly some, health. And I guess he does get health from those Doran's rings, but definitely kind of questionable. A lot of times as Cho'Gath, you can actually just get away with not building damage and just building full tank against Zed, but it definitely depends on playstyle and situation. You can see in this situation, Nenazor's is actually being allowed to play very aggressively because look at what's happening in his lane!
A magical journey is what's happening. Nenazor, very nice pick up on that kill response with the explosive cast. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Voltfire and 4 brothers trying to take out this Irelia. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name right now, but actually does not make it work. So nothing going in the way for Appalachian State right now. They are having some troubles.
I remember the last time we cast these guys, it's Yui-Oop.
Yeah, I remember we had some sort of name for him, but I never really felt confident in that.
Well, I tell players this. They're just like, oh my goodness, why can't the casters pronounce their names right? And I'm just like, dude, look, you name yourself that, you're getting your name pronounced however I want to. But, yeah, at this point, we're just watching incoming dives top lane. Like, Cloudy with a chance of getting dove a lot.
Taking up the turret. They're going to try to switch this
one
up. There's not much of the
turnaround
to really work with, but 4 brothers does get a kill out of that exchange before going down. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, that is... That was a nice tempered fade by Myers, but it's not going to be enough to save Anxiety. So he does go down. Crusty Mosquito picking up that kill, so a little bit of glimmer of hope in the bot lane for Appalachian State?
Man, you know, it's like crows. You know, you're just sitting there and you're just like, what's that? The glimmer of hope in the bottom lane, and then you just swoop down and you eat it. You say no glimmers allowed on my game. We've got a 3-0 jungle Gragas, not jungle, but mid lane Zed. It feels like jungle Zed because he's been roaming into the jungle for kills, into the top lane for kills. He's been all over the place. Myers is stunning minions down there for some reason, but you know what? He has definitely been enabling his AD carry, and out of all the lanes on the map, that's actually the lane that I would have thought would be doing the best, just because Myers, he's got the FE in front of his name for a reason. It's from back when he was on Flawless Esports. That definitely had a lot of hype behind them when they were,
oh my gosh,
Challenger League of Legends teams. So here we go. We got more action in the mid lane. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Rammus there for the disengage.
But just with one combo, though, Nenazor's, and I think one or two auto attack, Nenazor's able to, about, what's that, 3/4 health Cerilius. So not looking too well still for the Cho'Gath, who, by the way, is not building armor, is going for more of an Abyssal Scepter approach against a Zed. Not really feeling it, but I think he's trying it out, and it's not going to work out too well for him, I don't feel like, Reed.
Yeah, generally building magic resistance against Zed's not the greatest, and
no,
wow.
That's why, because Zed will delete you, because he's physical damage and a lot of it.
Yeah, and keep in mind that's a Rammus without a completed jungle item or any armor items too. So even though his defensive ball curl gives him defensive stats, you need a little bit more than that against this now 3-1 and 3 Zed.
Yeah, Ottawa doing everything they can and succeeding in snowballing almost every lane. Top lane, he's not getting kills, but he is keeping up in farm. Nice hook onto Myers through the magical journey. It's pretty telegraphed, I suppose.
Whoa.
But
oh no, he's going deep.
Oh,
the Zed plays.
Nice Tempered Fate onto the turret, keeps Nenazor's alive. Anxiety actually picking up that kill with the True Shot barrage from the backlines. There was a teleport to the bot lane. Also, 4 brothers is down there as well. Voltfire going to be locking up Rams. Somebody's going to go down. Who is it, though? There's going to be Rams. Mr. Savior picking up that kill. The 4 brothers. He's not looking too good here. Nenazor's, he has both the red buff and the blue buff. So I don't think anybody wants to fight him right now, but he's still low health. Looks like Ottawa needs to take their winnings and maybe try to get out of there.
Yeah. Lost about 3 of the brothers there, but the last one made it out alive. Nice rupture attempt there by Cerilius, but survival of the Zedist. Nenazor's gets out of there alive. We're starting to spread the deaths around. That's the 3rd death of the game for Ottawa. Or maybe I suppose, oh man, nice knock-up. Oh, where's the ultimate? And there it is, Cerilius.
Just had some cosmic feasting there, and now he is a little bit bigger.
Wonder what Bard tastes like. That's like never a question I really thought I'd have to ask myself, given that there are very few champions that eat things in League of Legends. We got what like Cho'Gath, Tom Kench. I think that's it, right?
Yeah. Pretty sure that's all of them.
I mean, Kog'Maw's called the Maw of the Void, but I think he's more about, like, throwing up Void stuff than eating stuff.
Yeah, I don't really understand why he, I don't get the whole I eat things gimmick from Kog'Maw, because, he spits everything out. Maybe it's because he ate so
I was going to say, you got to get in there somewhere, man.
Yeah. Maybe he's a vegetarian. Just eats a bunch of vegetation. Because everything he spits out is green. I just want to point that out. Now it might just be acidic ooze. Who knows?
I'm super glad that I ate before having this conversation with you, Fekez. I'm just like, things I like to think about right before I get in for some juicy meals. Oh man, we got some jungle action down here.
Speaking of juicy meals, Aurelia looks very, very tasty right now. Voltfire going to try to lock that one up. Does get the taunt onto the Aurelia. Still not going to pronounce that name, but Cerilius going to pick up that kill. That's 2 kills he's gotten in the last couple minutes, so he's trying to get into a position of power here, even with kind of an awkward build going against a Zed.
Yeah, Cerilius has definitely been putting in a little bit of work, and yeah, this is the questionable thing about going for that Abyssal Scepter rush, is that traditionally with Cho'Gath, you want to stack, cooldown reduction and ability power, because, oh man, nice double stun against the wall, not gonna go in on that, but yeah, you want CDR so that you can use your generally pretty high cooldown spells more often, and you want ability power, like flat AP, because his ult has a 1-to-1 true damage scale with that, so mean, it sounds pretty good, right? Magic resistance reduction really only helps on his spells, not on his big ult, which is sort of the reason that you pick Cho'Gath.
Yeah, Cho'Gath, I typically see them, at least I haven't actually casted a competitive Cho'Gath in quite a while, but I don't think too much has changed in that. They do go Roa sometimes, but typically they usually go Rod of Ages, especially since the buff it received a long time ago.
Rod of Ages is just like a super solid item. You buy the health and defensive stats early, it gives you sustain in lane, and then it scales with you as you level. So, pretty good item in that matchup. I'm not sure I can ever really advise going magic resistance against the Zed. The only thing I can say is that, Bard and Gragas both deal magic damage, so, I mean, maybe you're getting some value out of it there. We'll see how it works out. If he does still decide to go Rod of Ages, he's not going to have that item completed for a long time. I mean, if the game goes long, then sure, but it's going to be super late if he still decides to go with that option.
Yeah, I would almost think it'd be not a very sound investment at this point. They'd have to drag the game on to about 40 minutes to really make its maximum use of that one, considering he only has a Ruby Crystal building in toward it if he does decide to go for it, but we'll see what he builds. Ruby Crystal does build into quite a few items that are friendly on Cho'Gath. Voltfire, he's walking right into a Fat Man, followed up by a Ninja. There's Explosive Cast, knocking Voltfire back into Rams and Nunazors. Here comes the pop, and actually it looks like Aurelia going to be able to pick up that kill onto Voltfire. Not letting the Deathmark pick up that one. So Rams getting pulled back in, but it's not underneath the turret, so he's going to be able to walk away no problem. And Nunazors going to go invade Voltfire's jungle, knowing he's not going to be using it for the next 16 seconds or so.
In the meantime, Myers, ditching his carry to go clear out some wards, may find himself in a little bit of a rough spot. Magical Journey over the wall, and nobody's going to follow that. Man, I gotta hand it to the Riot design team. When they were coming up with Bard, somebody thought that through a lot about how to be able to have the Magical Journey, but also deter enemies from going through it with the Cosmic Mining Bardstone. It's a really slick interaction to have that risk and reward so that everyone can use it, but it's more favored for your allies. Granted, its scaling is sort of a one point wonder, because you get it's the only move that I've ever seen that as you level it, it increases the speed at which your allies flow through the Magical Journey as a penguin. And I'm just like, all right, man, you get faster penguins for leveling this spell. I never thought that would be a stat that I would want, but okay, man.
Bard is actually, in my opinion, and I've always thought this about Bard.
Man. Mr. Savior.
We'll talk about that in a second, because Mr. Savior, he's going to get belly flopped and then bound onto a turret and then
oh my goodness,
killed by the big cosmic beast. So it's not a dragon, by the way. The cosmic beast this time's Myers on Bard. He doesn't look like a beast, but he is.
Yeah, gotta give a shout out to Myers for clearing out so much vision on the bottom half of the map to allow that dive to be possible. Mr. Savior didn't even know what he was walking into when he hit the bottom lane, and I think he found out pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's still relatively early in the game. When you see MIA champions, you don't suspect them to be right behind you. So yeah, he's we're not quite knowing yet.
6-stack Cho'Gath, no Rod of Ages, but still really tanky thanks to that ult. Cho'Gath, if you guys haven't seen him in a while, I think some of the most recent changes gave him half cooldown whenever you kill things with your ultimates. So it's gonna give you a few more of those out there.
Looks like Aurelia is still going to try to bully out Four Brothers, and it looks like Four Brothers Nautilus. Let's point this out. This is a Nautilus being bullied out.
Right.
Yeah, typically they bully himself, so doing a very good job in that top lane, keeping CS in his favor.
Yeah, Nautilus typically very low interaction, so he just depth charges the wave and then walks back out of there. There's not a whole lot that you can do against Nautilus because he's just so tanky, so difficult to deal with. And to be fair, credit to Yuyu because he is taking the hard road to dealing with Nautilus. A lot of the ways that you deal with Nautilus are through either outroaming him, just shoving him in and leaving the lane, or because you can't really do that if he has Zerat Portal. you find some like hyper scaling champion to run against him so that you can't kill him, but you can kill everybody else on the team. The big ult by Myers flashed away from.
Nice flash from the Tempered Fate, and it looks like Nunazor is just barely going to survive there. Are they going to be able to take down Cerilius? Yes, they do. Zaidi flashes out of there. Ignite is onto him. I don't think it's going to be enough to kill him, though. But
wow.
A little bit of an unclean kill onto Cerilius, but a kill nonetheless for Ottawa University. University of Ottawa, rather.
Damn. And yeah, if you're having trouble figuring out which team is which, you can see right above the scoreboard, there's UO and App State. So yeah, University of Ottawa is back on the blue side. Mr. Saviors on the dead side. Teleport's coming in to maybe cut off this retreat, though.
Four Brothers, can he do something here? There's a lot of CC in the area, and Crusty Mosquito in the back line, keeping safe behind the big front line of Appalachian State. But there's an Irelia to dive to the back lines like she does so well. Nice last R onto Crusty Mosquito as she blew him back with the explosive cannon. So what was that? I think that was two.
That is a Buster shot.
That was a Buster shot. Yes, explosive. Yeah, explosive.
No. You got to take the R off on the end. It's Buster shot. That's how you know when you a Buster. You get hit with a shot. Okay, that's my rap career going down the drain. So young, so naive.
You had a lot of talent.
I was about to get signed to that big record label, and then I decided to cast League of Legends instead. True story. Not really, though. We're chasing Cerilius around. We're getting out of this mid lane. Oh my gosh, the turnaround! What?
All right. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to die anyways. I'll just eat something first. I mean, he does have a lot of AP, considering he built the Abyssal Scepter and has a Blasting Wand, so he has quite a bit of AP to his name right now. He has a pretty huge ultimate that's true damage.
Yeah, just to give you guys some numbers up there, as Mr. Rift Herald does get sucked into the void. We're about to see some spawnerinoing here. Oh, it does take about 5 seconds. Let's get some Tatora's action over here as Baron Nashor enters the rift. There he is, and might be something that's either one of these teams think about in the next few minutes. I mean, yeah, okay, so we were looking at the stats on the Young Cho'Gath's ult. It's currently dealing to champions about 583 damage. That's it's a decent amount, and you can see Nenazor has definitely caught him off guard. He's got a Maw of Malmortius, so maybe you think that's going to save you. Nope, sorry, it's true damage, not magic damage, and as scary as Myers is, he's not really going to deter Nautilus too much.
It's like a twisted serial killer just dressed up like Santa Claus. You know, he's just going to kill you anyways. I mean, he's a support at that too, but he'll still do it.
Like what kind of twisted mind does it take to turn your allies into penguins when they go through your magical journey? Like that's just like it's like the gingerbread man from Shrek. You monsters. Hook missing.
Dredgeline hitting a field goal.
Oh man.
Now Four Brothers gonna go down. Nice Q again for Myers. Big Tempered Fate gonna lock down 2 members of Appalachian State. A big explosive cask followed up with a true shot barrage, giving Anxiety a double kill. They're going for more underneath the turret. University of Ottawa, can they pick up a clean ace up here? Crusty Mosquito, he's gonna make it out with just barely enough life. So 3 for 0, and that is going to be a turret going over to U Ottawa.
So close, and yet so far, but definitely close enough to pick up 3 of those kills. And in the meantime, bottom lane, by the way, Nenazor's winning the game. So you guys play your League of Legends up there. I'm gonna play mine down here, and some big benefits there as now he tries to outplay this Rammus. Try to go for the Xpeke. Don't think that's how it's gonna work out.
Oh, getting out would be a big. Oh, okay. Well, Descent is landing on Nenazor's. Getting out would be a pretty big victory considering how much opposition you're going against there, but to get hooked up with the Death Sentence. Crusty Mosquito picking up that kill. Meanwhile, though, University of Ottawa, they were able to take out the inner top lane turret, so they did get something for the exchange of Nenazor's life. Man, I was going to say, hold on, I want to mention, yeah, you're right. Myers is doing fantastic on this vision control. He is establishing a lot of ward coverage throughout the entire area that University of Ottawa is trying to cover at that moment. Like, look at the top area of the jungle. It's just littered.
So much ward. Yeah, usually littering a bad thing. In this case, actually great. Maybe if people littered more often in real life with wards, I don't know, something about map awareness, which is definitely something I had to use I was driving back from South by Southwest at 3 a.m. yesterday.
I always actually consider driving like playing League of Legends. You have a bunch of randoms you're queuing up with, except if you lose, you could die. But you want to work as a team to get home safe.
Well, that there's actually the Turkish League of Legends community. Their community manager actually went ahead and decided to say, hey, what would be a cool community spot for the Turkish community? They took 10 rioters and they put them in a bus. And they had them drive around town playing League of Legends on Wi-Fi. So people do play League and ride. Please don't play League and drive. That would not be.
I think that would be worse than texting and driving. Because texting and driving, you're usually texting for good reasons. If you're playing League, you might be getting angry, and then you're driving. You don't want to do it. You don't want to mix.
And who gets angry when they play League, man? League is it's fun. It's
of course
wonderful opportunity to bring people together.
Yeah, that's actually why I went pro instead of casting. Because it made me so happy.
Yeah, until you realize the opposite of that happened, and here we are.
Yeah, I have a lot more fun casting. I like the game, don't worry guys. So, University of Ottawa, they're pressuring the inner mid lane turret. While looks like Nenazor's gonna go back to his old faithful and try to pressure that bot inhibitor dredge line, not quite landing from Four Brothers, so a little bit more poke is going to be endured from Anxiety, and they hurt. He has his Muramana charged up, so any Q that lands, it's going to be pretty devastating, considering there's not too much defense on the side of Appalachian State.
Okay, well, the push continues, just waiting for another minion wave to come out there. Would have expected Zerat Portal maybe coming out from Four Brothers as a way to sort of stem these tides of the waves pushing in. But just going for more armor, can't say that's a bad idea. He's definitely going to need your fair share of that versus what is, for all intents and purposes, a triple AD lineup. There's a lot of magic damage from Ezreal, but yeah, he's physical, so you definitely want that armor out there. Hook not going to land there. That's one way to clear things out. The other way is Ram Assault, which is going to help keep that turret alive for even just a little bit longer.
So Rod of Ages is actually built for
there it is, man.
Aurelius. Yeah, it's 25 minutes in. It's here. It's
actually a 22-minute Rod of Ages. So.
Yeah, it's ready to stack.
Oh, the three-man knock-up. There's the silence.
And a three-man silence. Is it going to be enough? Tempered Fate not really landing there. We'll get to that in a moment. But Anxiety, he is staying safe. Nenazor's, he is staying safe. And those are the big damage dealers on the side of University of Ottawa. And now Voltfire on the wrong side of the line here. And he is on the back foot through enemy territory. But it looks like University of Ottawa is not going to worry about him. And instead, just wait for this wave and push up into the turret. But
oh, Voltfire.
As I say that, Voltfire goes back to clear a ward and then dies for the effort. I don't really think that was worth it. Nenazor
wards can kill.
Yeah, yes, they can.
Not something you should just go walk up to when the entire enemy team's right there. Big wave pushing up onto the top half of the map. And yeah, great disengage there from you, Ottawa. They were able to both say, hey, they're coming in on us, let's back out, and turn that around into a kill in the end. Best of both worlds. However, looks like they could lose this dragon down here. If Solarius and Crusty Mosquito, Mr. Savior, all grouping up, can make that one happen.
Well, if anyone can take down a dragon, it would be a Crusty Mosquito. And it looks like it will be theirs for the taking. University of Ottawa, I don't think they really... I don't really think they care too much to give that one up. They know they'll be all right. That was the first dragon of the game for Appalachian State. So not giving up too much in that respect. University of Ottawa, they are still 14k up, actually are almost 15k up. So they are very comfortable. They have some breathing room if they allow these objectives to be given up. And they still have the bot lane inhibitor exposed for Appalachian State, so they have a big target that I don't think they've been focusing. Nenazor has been trying to split push it, but with little success.
Yeah, very, very little at this point. Although some great ward clearing going on, limiting the vision up in the upper half of the jungle. In the base, actually that one taking one more hit before it gets out of there. But currently, good job stemming the tide by Appalachian State. They are now tasked with protecting their bottom inhibitor. Knock up there on to Anxiety, but see how well this counter engage goes.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of damage going on to Four Brothers. Actually not too much. The shield absorbed quite a bit of it, so he's just going to back off. A lot of damage now going on to the inhibitor, and it looks like University of Ottawa, they are finally going to get that one. So that is inhibitor down for Appalachian State. Or, yeah, Appalachian State. Have those super minions going into the bot lane, and perfect pressure for a possible Baron from University of Ottawa. They have pretty much everything set up to take that now.
Yep, definitely some Baron pressure if they want to disengage, if they want to keep this pressure on, and that's certainly one way of doing it. And with this turret as low as it is right now, ooh, the arcane shifts backwards, keeping Anxiety safe.
Yeah, very nice arcane shift, dodging the. Oh, you can't really dodge the depth charge, but it does dodge the effectiveness of it. But you still cannot go in and get taunted. But look at that Tempered Fate. That is a huge, ripe for explosive cast, very nicely placed by Rams. Anxiety did go down. We'll see what happens out of that one. It is a 4-for-0 right now, or 4-for-2, I should say, in favor of University of Ottawa still.
Oh no,
they're going to be able to make it a quadra kill for Nenosaurs, and that is an ace going over to University of Ottawa and the mid lane inhibitor.
Scumbag Aurelia stealing the pentakill from Nenosaurs. Big fan of that guy. Nice to see a clean Z 9-3-9. What he is most likely going to finish the game with as Ottawa push through. One Nexus turret down, the second one about to fall. There's 7 seconds left on Voltfire's Rammus. Can they get the damage done to the Nexus in time? Some low health bars if he wants to turn this one around, but the Nexus dropping lower. It's going down. They didn't yell timber because they're not Mr. Worldwide. 23-9 the final score there as University of Ottawa take out Appalachian State in game 1.
Yep, and this is I do want to reiterate, this is a game 1, so is out of a best of 3, so the Appalachian State, they still have a chance to come back and make this into a game number 3. Of course, University of Ottawa, they want to they just want to close this one out. Want to call it an early night and you know, do whatever college kids do this time of night on a Monday. But my name is Joshua Fekes Quest here with Reed, Rapid, Melton. Stick around, we'll be back in just a moment.